Well, breaking news at 5, the state has rested their case in the trial against the 3 men charged with murdering Ahmaud Arbery. The defense delivered some of their opening statements, followed by witness testimony tomorrow morning. And we want to get to our Danae Bucci. She's live from the Glenn County Courthouse. And Danae, the state called up a few witnesses today.
Well, Riley, the latest was a GBI agent, but much of this morning was spent hearing from a medical examiner, shedding light to jurors about how exactly Ahmaud Arbery's condition was when he died.
The gunshot wound to this torso, was that a fatal gunshot wound? If he had never gotten this one under the arm, would that one in the middle of his torso have killed him?
Yes.
Was there anything EMS or the officers could have done on the scene to save his life from the torso shot?
Well, they could put an occlusive dressing on the large defect, but you would still have the exit defects in the back of the chest. And they couldn't do anything about the bleeding as long as the heart was beating.
So would he have just, in other words, is there anything they could have done on scene to save his life?
No. It's ballooning more.
The doctor took the panel through exactly what killed Arbery. Here you can see the state had him go through frame by frame through the video of the shooting. He said Arbery was struck 3 times with a bullet, both of them being, or all of them being fatal shots. The state then attempted to have the examiner explain the condition of the shoes he was wearing, which the defense took issue with.
It's a backdoor way of entering into evidence what the court has already ruled so far the state can't do, which is to argue that Mr. Arbery is a jogger in the neighborhood. There is no relevance of the shoes in and of themselves. It didn't inform this doctor of anything he had to do in performing his autopsy.
The shoes and their condition and the type of shoes they are is just another way of saying to the jury, look how much he runs. He runs all the time. Therefore, that's what he was doing on 2/23/20 when they encountered him in Satilla Shores.
Now, the judge did not rule on that matter because the state ended up actually dropping that piece of evidence.
And
Riley?
today's testimony follows a tense day in the courtroom. Reverend Jesse Jackson made a second appearance today, right?
Yeah, Riley, he did, and I actually spoke with him one-on-one. Here's what he had to say. And what about this case made you want to be here in Brunswick?
The moral obligation to stand with those who are in distress. They don't want this community to be a sanctuary for 3 killers. Everybody knows the 3 men who killed that boy.
And several hundred black pastors are expected to be here on Brunswick on Thursday, including Reverend Al Sharpton. Riley?
All right, Danae, thanks so much.